Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Ella Creed. This is my channel, Ella Creed, and today we're reading a heartstopper fanfiction. But before I get started, I do want to give a little trigger warning where there is mention of sexual assault in this chapter. And I'm not sure about the second chapter. I'm pretty sure there is though. So I do want to make that very clear so that no one has any issues. I also wanted to say that there is also, anyway, I've made a Venmo. I think that's what it's called. I think that's the one that I'm using. Yes, Venmo. It is Venmo, where you can send donations. You do not have to, obviously. There's no pressure to donate. This is just my way of trying to get enough money together so that I can get a new microphone and new stuff for the channel, and also to help with medical supplies because I am a chronically ill human being and just need help with that. But anyway, also I wanted to say that if enough of you have issues where you cannot watch these episodes simply because of the sexual assault or because of the self-harm or whatever it may be, if enough of you ask to not have those episodes posted, I will skip over those. So if you wish that I just didn't post the episodes that have sexual assault or self-harm or whatever it may be, let me know in the comments and I will try my best to do that for you. Just because I want to make sure that everyone can watch my videos, whether that means waiting until you're mentally well enough to come back to the videos or whether that means watching them in the moment. But anyway, let's jump right into the video. Chapter 105. It will be okay. Charlie's perspective. I'm sorry, I shouldn't still be crying, I just can't seem to stop, Nick said as he wiped his tears from his soaked face against my chest. That's all right, my love. Don't say sorry. I'm here no matter how long you cry for. I put my hand on the back of his neck, pulling him tightly against me, using minimal pressure while still providing comfort through touch. Nick leaned back, away from my chest and wiped his eyes before he stopped crying. How about you let me take you on a date to cheer you up? I asked. He shook his head lightly while saying, I'm not sure I'm up for that. I tilted his head up so his gaze could meet mine. That's okay. But how about we go home so you can have a shower and wash her off of you? Would that make you feel comfortable? He did sort of a sad smile, like when you're really upset and your friend cracks a joke that you just can't help but show a little bit of a smile at. I knew right when I saw that little smile that he liked that idea. I remember when things happened between me and Ben, right when I got home, I frantically used mouthwash. I actually thought it was a good idea to use my toothbrush and scrub my lips. I was taking all my anger out on myself. I scrubbed and scrubbed them until they were completely raw and bleeding. I wouldn't let Nick take this out on himself. It doesn't help anything. It mostly makes it worse. It drives you mad and makes you hate yourself in ways I didn't think possible. I didn't want that for Nick. I didn't want that for anyone. One shower it is, I said, pinching his cheeks until I got a laugh out of him. He had been sitting on my lap for so long that my legs were numb. I started the car and he crawled over into the passenger side. I reached over his body and buckled him up as I did that. I gave him many kisses, hoping the extra love would help him feel better. I know love can't fix this, but it can help. It definitely helps. Nick's perspective. Charlie parked the car in the lot and gave me another kiss. I really appreciated his tender love. He was being very gentle and endearing, which made me feel a lot better. I can't help but feel like I'm being so stupid. I shouldn't let this bother me. It's not that big of a deal, but then there's me crying for half an hour in the parking lot on my fiance's lap like a baby. I wish this didn't bother me as much as it is. I feel weak and totally out of control. I wish this would just stop. I wish everything would just stop. The pounding in my head, the places on my body where I could feel her hands touching me as if she was touching me right now. I want to stop thinking about all the things I should have done that maybe could have avoided this, because I can't go back in time now. I can't take back the past, so why did it have to haunt me? My thoughts were interrupted by Charlie touching my arm. I wanted to pull away, but stopped and told myself that it was only Charlie. I didn't need to worry, and it worked. I didn't pull away, rather I followed him inside as he started the shower for me. He put a fresh pair of clothes on the bathroom counter for me to change into, plus a clean towel. I felt so loved in this moment. Like, how could anyone get better than Charlie? Well, you can't. He's all mine. I won't ever take that for granted. He was laying in bed, reading. He looked so interested in the book, as if the words on the page were pulling him in. I stood in the doorway, looking at him reading the book. I originally came in here to ask if he could have a shower with me. I guess I just didn't want to be alone right now. But I couldn't bother him. He looked so peaceful. Right as I was about to leave, still looking at his book, he goes, "Nick, I can feel you staring. Why aren't you having a shower, my love? Can I get you anything?" I wanted to ask him, but I don't know. Everything just feels harder than before. Charlie looked up from his book this time. "What is it?" he said, so sweetly it could rot your teeth. I wanted to ask if you would come with me," I said shyly, regretting even asking. He smiled and placed his book down, paying full attention to me. He took off his shirt and walked closer. "Of course I will. I can help you get all clean. Does that sound good?" "Yeah," I said as he took my hand and led me into the washroom. We both undressed and got in the shower. He opened the shampoo bottle and lathered his hands before washing my hair. I let him take care of me, and I really needed that right now. I love him so much. I'm not sure what I would do without him. Third person. The dark-haired boy washed his fiance's hair with love and care, really doing a good job making sure the lighter-haired boy was enjoying it. He whispered things he liked about Nick softly into his ear. Charlie helped wash Nick's body, both of them making sure to get their grabby fingers off of him, making Nick feel better and less uncomfortable. He didn't like the thought of her all over him, and this was the first step of putting this behind him. Charlie stroked his fiance's wet hair and praised him about everything. The two cried some more, but eventually felt better, letting everything out and having one another's support. They dried off and watched a Marvel movie. Even though Charlie hated every minute of the movie, Nick was enjoying it, and that made it all worth it in Charlie's eyes. The two fell asleep in each other's arms on the couch, letting the worries of the day fade into the night sky, hoping tomorrow would be a better day. Chapter 106. Don't give up. Nick's perspective. I opened my eyes to see Charlie's whole body laid across mine. We were still on the couch. We must have passed out last night. I tried to pivot to get comfortable, but couldn't move without Charlie moving. I ran my hands through his hair, pulling it out of his face and to the back of his head. When I let go of his hair, it all spun back into its original position. Charlie, I whisper into his ear. He slowly opens his eyes, just barely, though, so they're squinted. "Yeah, sweetness," he says, fully opening his eyes and sitting up to look at me properly. I just needed to use the bathroom, and I didn't want to shake you awake with me moving. He smiles and closes his eyes again, laying back down on me. I laugh. Didn't I just tell him I needed to use the bathroom? I'm guessing you're really tired, I said as I ruffled his hair in an attempt to wake him up again. He groans. I'm tired. My alarm hasn't even gone off. I squish his face together. Well, I need to use the bathroom. I don't care, I want cuddles, he said in a cheeky tone. Well, I can't wait, I said before cradling him up in my arms, getting up and carrying him into our bed. I opened the covers and placed him in the bed. He still hasn't even opened his eyes. The drama king. Surely he wasn't that tired. I covered him up and lifted his head to the side and put a pillow underneath it. He moved around silently, getting comfortable, and I could see a little smile on his face. Good God, I love him so much, even if he is cheeky. I wasn't planning on going into work today. I definitely won't go in. Who am I kidding? I can't face her. Not again. She just doesn't get that I don't want to get with her. I don't want to feel how I felt yesterday ever again. Tears bottled up in my eyes. I blinked slowly, releasing them, and they trickled down my cheeks. I washed my face and went to the kitchen to make Charlie and I some breakfast. I was starving and wanted an excuse to wake him up. I just didn't want to be alone, but I don't want him to think this is bothering me that much. I don't want him to worry about it. He has enough worries already. Charlie's perspective. I woke up to the sound of sizzling. It sounded as if our house was on fire, but after a few seconds I realized it was just Nick cooking breakfast. I got up, still in my boxers without a shirt on, and walked into the kitchen. I liked to see what he was cooking before it was ready. I don't know why, but it just helps to know what I'm eating beforehand. It makes the anxiety soften by the time the food is ready. Third person. Nick turns on his heels at the sound of the floorboards creak, a little notifying him that Charlie was awake and coming towards him. Nick took a look at his fiancée, who was only in his boxers, and smiled. Well, don't you look sexy this morning? Charlie smirks, thinking he's clever. Don't I look sexy every morning? Nick pulls Charlie in by his waist and says in a quiet tone, as the boys' faces were near centimeters apart, You do, but you don't normally walk around the house in just boxers. Charlie laughs a little. Nick grabs his ass before pulling him in for a long kiss. The two break away and Charlie sits down while Nick is still cooking. You have work at 2 today, only for an hour, Charlie says, reminding Nick of the thing he wasn't going to do. Nick sharply said back, I'm not going. Charlie nervously played with his cuticles. He knew Nick didn't want to go, but he didn't want him to give up. Not yet. Charlie's perspective. I'm not sure what I should do. Nick always protected me from Ben, even when we weren't dating. I wish I could do the same. I thought about it, and actually I could protect him, just in a different way. Nick, what happened was awful, and I know you're hurting. I can't force you to go, and if you really are anxious about it, you shouldn't push yourself, but I don't think you should go. Just don't want you to give up. He spit back, I'm not giving up. I didn't mean it like that. This isn't your fault. I just think maybe you could give it another shot. And maybe that we could talk to someone about it. She could get straightened out, or better yet, fired. He snapped his head around to look at me. I'm not telling anyone about this. And I don't want you to either. I couldn't let him give up. and I needed to do something, and I had just the idea. I just won't tell Nick. Alright, that is the end of today's episode. I really hope that you guys enjoyed. Once again, I want to put all the warnings out there for next episode. There still are mentions. It's not as bad as the past couple episodes, but it's still there. And I also wanted to say that I am going to probably cut down on the number of times I post in a week, just because I have a lot going on. So I'm probably going to cut down to about 2 times a week, but I'm going to post more than just I Still Think You're Beautiful and Heartstopper. I'm going to be posting Wheelchair Accessible and Nick and Charlie fanfic and loads and loads of other things. So this way you can get more content twice a week than me trying to film like crazy. Also, once again, I do have a Venmo. It is at Alec Reads. Reads is spelled Reads, and not not Ree. So I just wanted to let you know. Once again, you do not have to donate if you don't wish to. I'm not forcing you to do anything. I'm just trying to make everything work out at the moment. Also, like, subscribe, comment down below, whether it's just saying hello or whether it's giving me recommendations or whether it's telling me whether you don't want me to read something if it has something that could possibly be triggering in it, which I completely understand. And also with some recommendations, if I cannot physically read it myself because of something that triggers me, I will let you know. I will usually reply to your comment and let you know, like, hey, there is trigger warnings on this that I get triggered by, so therefore I cannot read this story. But other than that, I will try my best to read whatever you would like. I am trying to post everything to Spotify soon. I'm also trying to do a new Spice episode because I haven't done one in like forever, and I feel kind of bad. So, oops. But anyway, good morning, good afternoon, or good night. Goodbye, ladies, gentlemen, and everybody in between, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, friends.